Hey, we're back and working on a few different things today in the shop. We have the 56 in here today. The rubber hanger decided to give up the ghost, and I came into the shed and the tailpipe was hanging down. I want to drive this thing and I don't want that, just that, to keep me from driving it. So here it is. We are on the lift, just giving it the once over. She's dirty, covered in pollen, and the white walls are finger paint walls. And yeah, the one hanger gave up here. I just re-drilled the rubber and pinched it back together, so it should be good now. I'm just giving it once over, check tire pressure and whatnot. The dogs are helping, of course. And yeah. This is my baby. I gotta get these white walls clean. These tires are old. I mean, they're starting to check and check and check. I mean, I've had these tires probably close to, I don't know, 10, 15 years now. And I mean, look at that. I mean, just no feather edge, no nothing. For an old set of tires on old school front end, somebody did a dang good alignment. Oh wait, that was me. Set the tail and let it go, baby. So yeah, I'm starting to feel like them. All right, so let me get the getting here. Time to put the take out the winter air and add some summer air. Where are we at here? I don't have my peepers on. There it goes. 25, 30, 32. Perfect. There we go. Summer air. Let's do the other one. These things don't. Hey, puppy. Come on now. Leave the hose alone. Chew mode. That's all it is. Puppy mode. There we're at. Wow, a lot of winter air right here. Lack of summer air. Get better fuel mileage, like I care. Alright, some more summer air for the front tires. Well, 28, 30, 31, 32. Are you having fun chewing up that hose? Better not put a hole in it. You're gonna explode. Come on, you can't get a good reading when you're pulling on the hose. 30. 1. 32. Okay. Check that off the list. Summer air installed. These things actually need some of that. Remember that, I'm going to show my age right here, Wesley's bleach white. We used to use them on white letters and wide walls, wide white walls, or even the pinstripe white walls. But yeah, that's going to need some of that. A nice good scrubbing. Whatever happened to days when they color match the rims with the car? I guess some days are gone. It's either silver or black and that's it. Ugh, terrible. Time to do some chrome polishing. Oof. Man, if I were to sit down and wax detail every car that I own, that'd be a month. My arms would fall off. Welcome back to Anything Goes Garage. Today, Ford's. Now, beautiful car here. 1969 Ford Fairlane 500. 351 Windsor with a 4-speed. Yep, 3 pedals and a 4-speed. Beautiful, beautiful job. I don't know who painted this. It's an older restoration, but it's got a couple little flaws, but it's beautiful. Whoever did the paint did a really nice job. It's got a lot of neat little options on it, pieces of trim. It's got the GT wheels, got a power, well, it's actually got a power antenna, no bucket seats. Nice interior. It's like just totally stock car. It's really, really, really nice. It's here today because it sat for a long time with this garbage fuel that they're making us use with all the garbage ethanol in it, and it's a Holly, and it does not run right. It's probably gummed up. We're going to pull the carburetor apart, put a kit in it, give the thing a once over, nice tune, and make it run like a Ford again. All right, set your peepers on this. Beautiful car, very beautiful. That's wear and tear, but no, it's nice. Even interior, I love that color, the interior, the carpet. Nice little 4-speed in it. Dash is beautiful. I like this car. This is really nice. Got power disc brakes. It stops on a dime. I hit the brakes out there, I almost hit the steering wheel. It's got some issues. I see. It looks like somebody decided to use it for a shelf, but no, otherwise this is a very beautiful car. I'm a 67 guy, but these are very nice. Very nice. A little too much. Get a screw loose here. Sounds like me. Yeah, it's got some issues. We'll have to put that back in. Needs wider tires, and this needs to go down a little more, but that's just my opinion. No, this is a really nice car. Let's get a peek underneath the hood. Let me see if I can. Oh, look at that. Easy peasy. Whoa. That is beautiful. Look at that. Like I said, older restoration, but looks good. A couple things here catch my eye I don't care for is this old line here. And this little setup here, it's just, it sticks out. I don't know. Could use a shroud. Is that a clutch fan? Belts look all right. I'm gonna give it, check the oil and all that stuff. Looks like it's got an Offenhauser intake. Got a set of headers. This thing is whisper quiet. Must have a set of turbo mufflers on it, I guess. Carburetor looks a little oversprayed, crusty, rusty. Linkage is a little dry there. Yeah, she needs some anything goes garage love in here. Yes, definitely. Very, very nice car. I like it. You know me, I'm a Chevy guy, but you know I still like my Fords. I do like Mopars. I like them all. I'm not, you know, but most you'll see here is GMs, but that's okay. This is a little more money to play this game. Mopars, nah, it's a whole nother story. I'd have to refinance my house and my dogs and whatnot. So let's take a look at this thing a little deeper. All right, so he left me a note. Maggie, ready to listen to this? Ready? Runs well sometimes, but like-ish other times. Sometimes has erratic idle when cold. Excuse me. I'm just blowing off the lawnmower, all the dust. Backfires when off throttle, mostly when it's not warmed up. Bucks a lot when driving easy. Okay, well, we'll go over this thing. Check the timing. I want to make sure no wires are burned on the headers. Looks like somebody has put some lines on the balancer, but I don't know where it's at. Looks like somebody just painted over grease on some of the spots here, but yeah, we'll pull this air cleaner off. Check some of these wires, make sure not burned on the headers. Well, there's a possibility of that one, right? If you can see that, right there. It's hard to tell. Can you see that? That's a possibility. And then second one looks all right. All right, well, wires don't look bad. We'll pull the cap. This looks like it has points in it too, so unless they have no, it doesn't have Pentronics, I don't think. Would have a ballast resistor, so them coils, I don't trust chrome coils. Those made in overseas things are junk. I would put like an MSD on it or something. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to check before we totally condemn that carburetor, which I'm sure it does looking at it, but let's get this air filter off and see what this thing looks like. It's one of them spin ones, hopefully, because there's no wing nut in the middle, so I guess it's one of them special ones. You play it, if you spin this backwards, does it fix itself? These are actually kind of cool. I like these. Aluminum lid. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Really? There we go. There we go. Oh, no, it's plastic. It looks to be plastic. No. What is this thing? Looks like a hard plastic. Pretty cool, though. All right, looks like we have a Holley 600 with lots of backfire carbon in it. Yeah, air bleeds are probably crapped up. It's a newer carburetor, but it's been on there a while by all this overspray, and there's oxidation on it. Somebody's probably cleaned it. I didn't like the idle. Oh, it is open. The idle was a little bit high, so we'll check for vacuum leaks. There's this vacuum tree back here. Make sure none of these are, this is dry. This could be hanging up. This linkage setup is just asking for trouble. So I might just get my pin oiler. I see mouse droppings in here, so this has been sitting a while. So, all right, let me see what we can do with this. All right, so that's one. I was just looking at this. Ford's got one crazy setup. Wow, that's some manufacturing there and some. Doggy, what are you doing under the car? There's a dog under the car. Hey, Panzer, get out of there. But it's a pull setup, or a push setup, not a pull setup. I don't know. Why can't they keep it simple? I don't know. All right, let's pop this cap and see what we're looking for on the breaker points. It looks pretty new in there. Cap looks new. I don't see any carbon or crap. Yeah, this thing is definitely clean. That looks like that's a brand new distributor, actually. Yeah. Well, we're gonna check the dwell on the points on that. Make sure everything's good to go on that, because that means a lot too. All right, how do we get this notch back on here? Here it goes. There we go. I know some of you guys out there are anti-points, but you know what? They do work good. I like both. I like HEI. I like points. I rather do the HEI. Yeah, you can carry around points in a box or a box or something and replace them on the road, but you can do that with HEI. But unless the pickup goes bad, then you got to pull the distributor, and that's a whole nother deal with the HEIs. Yeah, you should just carry another distributor, which I've never really had a problem. So the aftermarkets, yes. Alright, we have our timing light on it. This thing direct to intake vacuum. I would think you would want it, usually we plug them in here to port it, but let me see if I got a vacuum plug. Alright, so we're on base timing. We got the distributor disconnected now. Let me zero this out. See where she's at. We're at 0. I think that's 0. Yeah, that's 0. I'm gonna have to clean that balancer off because I really can't tell. They print theirs in the balancer, so let me shut this off and clean that tab off and that balancer. All right, let's see where this thing's at. I remarked the balancer. They had it off. They had top dead center in the wrong spot. So they have top dead center at 12 degrees. So, I think this is 0. Thing pulled off too quick. Turn this light off a little. Ooh, the idle screw don't even want to turn. Alright, so we're at this vacuum advance back in. I think it's supposed to be ported. I'm gonna put it right here on the side where it's supposed to be. There we go. I like that. Let's see where it's at. Alright, so I set this thing at, it was 6 degrees, I set it at 8, and I think that'll be good. A little bit, but Ford's, I always found that Fords love a lot of timing, but I'd give it more, but I don't know what kind of gas he's using, if he's using premium, what the compression ratio is, if this is the original engine, if there's domes. Obviously there isn't a camshaft in this thing because it's quiet as a church mouse, so, alright, so 8 it's gonna be, instead of 6. Let me get my dwell meter and see where the dwell's at on this thing. We'll see. Oh yeah. All right, for those of you who don't know points and dwell, old school stuff. Old schoolers will know this. This is a tack and dwell tester. She's an oldie. I put up at the swap meet 100 years ago, and it has tachometer and dwell, and it has a 6-cylinder and an 8-cylinder range scale on it, on both sides, dwell and the tack. So I'm gonna fire this up and see where it's at. I'm happy when you fire it up. It's like bleeding down. Alright, so we're idling at, on the 8-cylinder scale, we are at 600. I think that's 600. What is that? Oh, yeah, 600. The dwell is 36 degrees. I'll have to look up what they like on the Fords, but it says 36. Let me go to the book and find out what it is. Alright, those of you who remember Chilton's Ford, or all the Chilton manuals, oh, that would have been good. They have everything in here you need to know without going on the interweb. I trust this better than the interweb. So let's dig into this. All right, so I wrote it down out of the book. Also, the timing for a 7351 Windsor is 10 degrees. How about that? Could use a few more degrees. That's with manual transmission and automatic also. Okay. Good to know. Books are cool. Stay in school. Reading school. Alright, back to the stop at the shenanigans, time to get back to work. Alright, for the ease of setting the points, I'm going to use my Lone Wolf engine turner over thingy. You hook one to positive, one to your solenoid. I'll give Ford this. That. Solenoid. And pros and cons of a distributor up front. Ease of working on, but cons, as soon as the water hits that, done. So I kind of do like that. I don't like their door spark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 29, 32 hike. Them things suck. They either work or they don't. I've seen them last a long time, but don't. But points, okay, here we go. All right, this thing is horrible. I actually had to make a mark on the top to see where the highest point of the cam is. You could barely tell when these points are so close, you could barely tell they were open. It's far from 21 thousandths. That's probably half the problem. This thing doesn't want to run right. So, yeah, I'm going to bring this thing around, see what I can do here. Let me get the, bump it around here. There's my... right there, highest point. Oh geez. All right, so there, I don't know if you can see that. That is not 21 thousandths. That might be 10,000. I don't even know how this thing even ran. All right, so let me readjust this because somebody didn't know what the heck they were doing. Or did they put any grease on the rubbing block on the points? I put just a touch on there, so it might have wore the rubbing block off the points. That might be why they're so closed up. So let me adjust this. So maybe now you can possibly see the point gap. Get a screwdriver. Right there. Let me see. Right there. You could not see that. It was like 10 thousandths. So that's just, yeah, no. Either rubbing block was worn or somebody incorrectly gapped these. All right, let's see what this thing does. Ah, poop. There you go. Oh, wait, wrong scale. What did it say? 24 to 29. 24, right there. And now it's at 700 RPM. So it upped the RPM. It sounds a little more, idles a little differently now, so it sounds better. Alright, so we're reading 15 inches of vacuum at idle. I'm going to try to adjust the metering screws to the highest vacuum reading possible. Nope. Kind of got to do them equally and just chase the gauge. Chase the gauge. I don't know if we're going to get much more out of this. Nope, don't look like it. Half an inch, that's about it. I don't want to make it too rich, but we'll back it down where it starts to stall. Right there, and bring it back up. That's about all you're going to get. We'll have to take this for a test ride. Let's see if she acts any different. But first I got to clean out those air bleeds in there. They're nasty. Alright, another issue for stumbling would be improper accelerator pump adjustment. So, I don't know how good we're going to be able to see this. If I can get a light in here for you to see. When I move the throttle, I don't know how good this is going to work because I don't have hands free. But when you crack the throttle, it ain't doing diddly out those. I mean, I got that much travel, and I'm not getting right there. I might get a little squirt. So I'm gonna have to readjust this thing. I kind of want to put a kit in this thing. I may just do it because we don't know how old this is. I don't want to just throw kits at carburetors. The tune has to be good first before you can throw parts at stuff. So we got the points to dwell, the timing where we want it. Actually, looking at this coil. Yeah, looks like a Pentronics coil. Okay, so it's not, I don't know if I trust them. I mean, I like Pentronics up to a point, but I've seen their modules stuff burn out. So I see we got a couple of oil leaks down here too. Looks like we're going to have to check that out. Tighten up some header bolts. I'm going to take this for a ride. I'm going to adjust that accelerator pump and see if I can get a little more response out of it, because it is a little lazy at first. So I doubt anybody tuned this thing. This is what it needs. Let me check these valve covers. They're not exactly tight. So I've seen a little bit of oil down the side of the block. Somebody cleaned the upper end, but not the side. They could have put gaskets on it, never rechecked anything. Well, good thing this ain't a 390 FE. I thought this thing would, this brake booster would be seriously in the way. Oh wow, there's oil down here, so something's been leaking. I don't know if I'm gonna get in here with this. No, I need a shorter ratchet. I'm gonna use one of these little guys to get in there. But if this was an FE, to get to those spark plugs back here, oh ho ho. Oh wow, this one's super loose. Oh. There's a turn and a half right there without killing it. And I got one up in the back, so that explains all the oil on the Z-bar down there. And this one's probably loose too. Yep. One turn without killing it. So yeah, definitely a little loose. Yeah, they were due for a checkup. Things shrink. You put things on, you gotta let it cycle, heat cycle a few times. These things need to be tied up. Something. Let's see, we got a lot of oil back here. Yeah, a little bit. That one wasn't too bad. We should probably check the intake too. I want to check all these bolts, check all the headers and whatnot. All right, I had a couple loose header bolts. Not bad, but I noticed something down here. This is why I don't like headers, especially just any cheap header. If you can see that header right there next to the Z-bar, all smashed in, and you actually had to clearance the firewall to get that in there. Holy Lord. Shoo. And there's lots of oil from that leaking valve cover down there. So maybe I can spritz that off a little bit, get some of that oil out of there. This is a newer Ollie 600, which doesn't even have a float adjustment from the outside. Everything has to be done from the inside, and that could be off. But judging by the age and how this thing's been run, I'm gonna have to, I think, go through it. I don't know if I have another carburetor I could try. Very nice riding, running car though, but under power, it's not a happy camper. right, so the verdict is idles better. Up to mid-range, power just kind of, it ain't happy. As soon as it gets into secondaries, start pulling fuel, it seems like it just bucks. So, I'm gonna check a few things first, and then maybe I'll just get a kit for this carburetor, or I would rather put something a little better for a carburetor on it. I'm not crazy. I don't like those carburetors with the non-adjustments. They're just they're too cheap. I want to get something different. All right, so I pulled the plugs. No speckles, nothing like that, but the gap was 42 thousandths. The spec is 34. So a little bit on the wide side, which doesn't help either. So I'm going to pull all these plugs and re-gap them. Because it's points, it takes a smaller gap. Too wide of a gap, it's going to struggle. The coil's going to break down and ain't going to get the proper spark. So I'm going to re-gap these, and we're going to take it for another spin. But now it's raining, so I don't want to dirty up this car. So let me get all these plugs out. It's probably going to take me a while, so I'll be back. All right, so all these plugs are re-gapped at 35. They were 42. Of course, now I can't take it for a test ride now because it's raining again. Yeah, not my car. I'm not cleaning it, and I'm not wrecking it. So, all right, I'm gonna go find something else to do, and go from there. Welcome back to the channel. It's a nice, beautiful, finally sunny Sunday. I'm going to take the old 69 Fairlane 500 out for another test rip. We changed the plug gap on it, so we won't make too many changes at once. If this mid to full throttle misfire goes away, or bucking, although that's what it was. If not, I'm going to throw some jet at it. Try not to do more than 1 or 2 changes at a time, because you never find out what exactly the problem was. So let's go for a ride. We're back. Unfortunately, I don't have any real good test hits out there with the car. The stupid camera mount decided to go and I was looking at the sky. But let's call it fixed. No bucking, no nothing. Third gear, fourth gear, high gear. Pedal on the floor, secondary's wide open. not an issue. So what we had there was the plugs were way too wide of a gap. They were 43, now they are 35, 42, and now they are 35. And it took some of the weight off the coil and the distributor, because it was trying to, how to overcome that big gap, and it didn't like it. So we are good now. The car ran beautifully. We probably made 3-4 test hits, and it was good. I didn't smoke tires. I just wanted to know high gear, third, fourth gear, run up to about 80 mile an hour, and cut it clean, and it was good. It runs real good. So we're gonna let the customer use his decision or his discretion, whether he likes it or not. I think he will. It's just a street car. You don't race it, so as long as it ain't bucking and it starts up and it runs and idles like it was with all the issues that you've seen here. So I want to call this done. He does want to add power steering. This originally had power steering. If I can put it up, I'll put up. He has the original, all the paperwork, the RPO codes, the paper for the window sticker with all the options. This is a real 351 Windsor GT car, original Windsor 4-speed. It's pretty much all original. It's got a 325 locker in it with a 9-inch Ford. They added Caltrax and stuff and dual exhaust, but yeah. Somebody removed the power steering because it's the assist type to put those stupid headers in. I don't know. I would keep the power steering over the headers, especially this thing. It's stock basically, except for an intake. So I would have left the exhaust manifolds in it for what it is. So, all right, I guess I'm going to call this done, and let me see. The next project is going to be really interesting. 1980 Corvette. If this goes through, it's got 5,000 original miles on it. It's been in a garage since day one, and it has issues from what I'm told. But they want to do some upgrades and go through the whole thing. Yeah, lots of upgrades. So, all right, well, yep, calling this done. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Until the next project comes in, peace out.